غرباء غرباء.
There's something I just remember right now in HTML, which is semantics. And who doesn't know semantics here in HTML? Who doesn't know what semantics means in HTML? So it is everybody knows semantics, right? Isn't it? Okay, okay. I don't know if people can still hear me. This one that everywhere is just silent.
Guys,
All right, okay. Since you people know semantics, I will ask questions, and I will be calling names to the questions. All right. Let me start from Mabuba. Since she's the Agba here first, like Agba of HTML. So, Mabuba, can you hear me? Mabuba is not there.
I'm with you, Sal.
Okay. All right. What I want you to list like 3 non-semantics elements for me. Non-semantic elements in HTML. Very easy, right?
Non-semantic elements.
Yes, in HTML. Okay, let me add it. 3 non-semantic and 3 semantic elements.
Please, can you please give me an idea? I do not remember.
Timothy Finla there, Timothy Finla
So,
Sani.
even if it's just one, I'll try.
Okay, let me just still define. Let me just redefine semantic for you.
All right, sir.
When we talk about semantics elements in HTML, not in linguistic, a semantic element is an HTML element that clearly describes its meaning to both the browser and the developer. It is clearly it defines its content. It cannot just be used for any content. It has its own specific content you use it for. That's semantic element. But then semantic, they tell nothing about their content. If you like, you use it when you want to do this. If you like, you use it when you want to do this. Whatever it is, they don't define. They are just there. So those are non-semantic elements. Give me an example. Including you.
Semantic. I, without definition, I don't know the example.
Okay. Okay, let me be writing those that did not answer question in class.
Well,
Oh yeah, let me move to you. Moaz.
Muad is not the next person, though. So, someone is there.
Maybe you the question. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
sir. Okay.
What are give me list 3 semantic and 3 non-semantic elements.
Semantic. Like we are actually talking about the
Hmm?
script.
Script. Okay.
Can I move on?
Move on. I didn't hear you.
Script,
Mm.
nav,
Uh-huh.
and then we are talking about script, nav, and then and what also and form,
4. Non-semantic. Nko.
non-semantic, non-semantic. We're actually talking about
The
link,
uh-huh.
um, the the breaking of lines,
Uh-huh.
and then span. We're actually talking about the span.
Now, so Jazakumullah khairan, but you failed it. So you got some, but you got some wrong. Now,
Okay,
let me
sir.
let me redefine. Let me just redefine semantic this thing for you. You see, when just like I gave the definition, semantic elements they define their content. They have
Okay.
specific use. Do you get why non-semantic? They don't have specific use. For example, if you agree with me, Mabu, are you with us?
Now, yes, I'm with you, sir.
If you agree with me, you see this? Can you see my screen?
The network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abi Kinjoko Tobi see.
And sir, you can see, sir.
All right. So look at this.
It's
This for
being salivary.
look at this for example. This div. What's the function of div? Does div define its
This is like
contents?
a computer.
You see, when we talk about div, I can use div as an header, as in the header. I can use div for the header to have a header. I can use it inside the body. I can use it aside. I can use it as the footer. In fact, I can define everything in the page as div. Div does not
No.
have a specific use. That is a non-semantic element. Same thing with span. Same thing with span. But when we talk about form, if I want to write a new paragraph, can I use form for that?
No.
No. So it
You
has its own
can't.
specific element. It has its own specific definition. It is only used for what? For form. Same thing as table. Same thing as table. Do you get? For
No.
example, anchor tag, which is the link. If I want to write a new form, can I just use anchor tag and say this is a form? No. Or if I want to have a
No.
paragraph, no. That's because it has its own use. Do you get what I'm saying? So
No.
that's the difference between semantic and non-semantic elements. It is very, very important when developing when writing a web page for you to use semantic elements. So look at the benefits for semantic element. It is easier to use instead of just using div throughout your stuff. Let me give an example. Let me go to a website. For example, freecodecamp.com/semantic. Something like this. Sorry, where is it? Now look at these two. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you
Look
can.
look at these two. Look at those two blocks of code. This is the first one here. This is the second one here. If you look at the second one, it's the same thing that it will print out in the first one, but everything in the second one is using what? Is using div. Is using div. You can see it. And it should be the same thing you will see. But the first one, look at the first one. It clearly defines that when you see this as a developer self, when you open the code, you know that this is the header. You know that this is a section. And you know that this is the footer. You know that this is a figure, this is an article, that's what we call semantics. It is much easier to read. Do you get? And then it has greater accessibility, especially for search engines. When you search something on Google, for example, you just search whatever it is you search. So the way Google will interpret your web page, especially using your title and your meta blocks, ranking you in when we come to search engine optimization, things like that. It is really, really important because the more consistent your code is, the more semantics it has, the more it has greater accessibility and how search engine will rank it. Especially, there are some people that are blind that still use the screen that they still browse the internet. Do you know that?
The screen readers.
Eh?
I said the screen readers.
Yes, they are called the screen readers, and you need to learn that when you come to accessibility. Because for example, if you have this type of code, and if the screen reader is just using it, everything the screen reader will be confused because everything will just be a div. So the screen reader will not even be able to understand what aspect of. So if you want to even define an image somewhere, if you want to define a section, it doesn't know the difference between the section and the header. But when the screen reader is using whatever it is he wants to read the screen to him, you understand that this is a footer, and inside the footer it has this, the screen reader understands this is whatever it is. So that is for easier accessibility. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah?
No, no.
So let me just continue our class. So one of the objectives is understanding the use of form. Then after that, you use the normal, of course, this is the form tag, then the input inside the tag, and then the label. Then you write some validations. Yeah, important. You add some validations in order to validate whatever the user is used to do. So what is a form? What is a form? That's the question. Anybody wants to give me an answer? What a form is?
Oh, let me try, sir.
Now, I'm with you, ma.
Um, a form is, should I call it an element that is used to collect data in a document or something like that. Huh?
Are you sure?
It's used to collect user information. So it,
User information.
or let's say, and it is used to collect inputs
Hey,
from.
that's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. It's not only user information, it's for collecting inputs, user inputs. So your browser, whatever it is. So whatever, for example, whatever the user wants to input, if that thing that user wants to input, if the user like, it should be a user, what's it called? If it should be user information, or if it is the user's wife information, what we want is the user input. So that's what the form is. And so of course you've given. Have you used the form before? Almost everybody has
Yes,
used Google Form now,
yes,
isn't it?
we have.
So definitely something like this. So this thing is collecting user input. User will input first name here, surname here, whatever it is, password here, password here. So that is user input. Do you get me? Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Now, so HTML forms are crucial for collecting user input, just like we mentioned. And what do we do with this user input? HTML form as things that are very, very important, especially when we come to backend and we want to join it with front end. Those are the things that the HTML forms act as a bridge between the user and the server for communication. So the server from the back behind will ask the user for some information, and the user will put it. So what we use to access those information, what we use to collect the information and send it, is what we call the form, HTML form. So it is very, very useful for that. And it is form tag. The form tag is something like this. So inside the form tag, we then have various elements such as text fields, such as radio buttons, such as checkbox, different things that we have there. And those are the things that we'll be checking in our stuff here. So basically, this is how a normal HTML form looks like. So you have form, you define your form tag, and don't forget in the last class I told you differences between tag and elements, isn't it? What is tag? What is elements? Shall I ask a question again? Shall I throw the question? Mabuba.
Sir?
Shiny green. So what are differences between HTML form and HTML tag?
HTML element and HTML tags.
Yes, HTML elements and HTML tags.
Okay. The tags are the this sign, the greater than and the less than sign that are used to open and close the content. Why the element are the item inside the tag
Okay.
that.
Now, you tried, but if you remember in our last class I mentioned, for example, if you have something like this, let me make my screen bigger. Let me. Oh, Mutilo Bakinere. You can see my screen well now, right?
Now,
Mm-hmm. So let's say, for example, this is P. You see, when you have opening, this, this, this is a tag on its own. Like this is a tag. It's called the opening tag. Do you get what I'm saying? This is a
now,
tag. It's called the closing tag. And then when we have something inside, whatever it is, can call jargons the Jari. So when we have something inside, opening tag plus content plus closing tag is what is called HTML elements. The opening tag plus the content plus the closing tag is what is called HTML element. So for example, we are defining our stuff here. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is the opening tag. Assalamu alaikum. Are you people with me? Assalamu alaikum. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi o? Wow. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, you're actually ready.
Okay. So the opening tag, the closing tag, and these the HTML elements. These are the HTML this thing themselves. So inside the HTML opening tag for form, there are these things here. And what do we call this, Moaz? What do we call these?
What's that, sir? What do
This action that is inside the opening tag. What do you call it? Read one. What do we call it? Read one. Is read one there?
Yeah.
What do we call these things?
Input.
Huh?
Input.
No. These you can see what let me copy it and paste it here. Oh, this is not what I copied. What I copied it here. Let me just write it here. Form. And let me say a post. And now look at this opening tag. Can you see what I'm showing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now this action and this method, what are they called? What are they called? What are they called? This action and method, that action equals to something, method equals to something. What are they called? Neighbor, Akinyima. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí Aguma. So what are they called?
I don't really know the name, but I know basically. I know action method, but I don't know the name it is called. Maybe in tag or I don't know.
Mabuba, what are they called? What like the network Mabuba is having issue. Read one. What about you? Do you know it?
No, I don't.
Okay. And we talked about it in the last class, and that is what I actually still talk about this morning before we started this class, when I was doing
Attributes.
description of what we did. Yes, and that is what is called attributes.
Wow.
So those are HTML attributes. And I talked about attributes. So attributes actually provide additional information about HTML elements, and they are included within the opening tag. Please take note of that. So they are like key value pairs. They are key value pairs. You have something equals to something, something equals to something. So those are HTML attributes. Do you get what I'm saying? So form basically has two attributes, like two important attributes. It has more than that, but the important ones are two important attributes for now, which is the action and the method. The action is, when I was defining HTML form, I said it's used to collect user inputs. So the action is actually the URL or the location that you want to send the input you collect to. Why the method tells us about the type of HTTP request, and we'll talk about that very well when we get to the back end. When we talk about the delete method, the put method, the patch method, the get method, the post method, the option, and different types of method we'll discuss. So just know that this is how it is. Now, if you write a form like this, are you with me? So let's go with the input tag. So input tag are versatile elements. What I mean by versatile element is that it can either be a text field, checkbox, radio button, just like how I said the other time. And these are what goes inside the form. These are what goes inside the form. Let's check our listing here on our browser. Of course, because we've not written anything apart from this form, so that's why you see it's empty here. But then let's now the input form, we have the label. Apart from the inputs, we have the label. So let's talk about the different types of inputs first before we move on to the label. Let's see. So where is my browser? So this is it. Now we have our input tag, and this is how the input tag is. So when we want to define input tag, we have the attribute called type, and that will tell us the type of the input tag we want. So when we open the browser for the, is this showing well? Let's say for the, let me have it something like this instead. So let's have our form, and let's just say h1 from class. All right, so let's have our input first. The first one with type equals to text. So when we check it, we check our browser. You see it here. So this is to take text. For example, we want to ask the user the first name of the user. Are you with me?
Yes, sir, we are with you.
Hope people can see my screen.
You cannot see it again.
Okay, you cannot see it again, Abby.
Yes.
Something happened. What about now?
Yes, we can.
You can see the screen now.
No.
All right. So this is it. So for example, you want to ask the user the first name or whatever it is. This is for this is a text. Please mute your mic. All right. So another input type that we have input is the type of, another type that we can have is let's just be following them like this, is the button. What is this one showing? So once you refresh, you see a button here, but the button takes what's it called? Normally I love to use the button, this one, whatever it is you want to use. It's better. We have a button tag on its own. So this is a button, click me. Then we have checkbox, input tab of checkbox, and this checkbox, a box that can be checked and unchecked. Then we have another input tag of color. So this input tag, maybe probably I should just be putting breaking line there so that our things can be, so that we can have them on different lines. So we have color here. You can use to select color. I don't know what you want to ask the user to pick a color. They can decide to use this, and they can even pick the color from the page. For example, you are seeing a color and you don't know the name of the color. or you don't know how the color looks like, or you don't know the RGB of the color, you can just use your picking this one here, the dropper here, to come and pick a color. And once you pick it, it picks the and it gives you the RGB, then you submit it. So that's for a color. Then after color, you have another input tag, which is dates. So you see these dates. You want the user to pick a date, probably date of death, date of birth, or date of whatever it is. Somebody can pick a date. Somebody can decide to pick July 26, 2001 or 2005, something like that. Or somebody can, and whatever it is you want to pick. So that is input type date. And then we have another input time, which is a date type too, but this one is called date local. Date time local. So when you look at this, it is dates and time. So you can just pick today, and today is 27th of April 2024 and exactly 11:38. So probably it is. So you can pick. So that's date time. It picks the dates and the time. So we have another called the email, the input tag of email. And this is something like this. So you have, and you might try to look at this. This has no difference with this with input, but then there is difference, and you see the difference when we are talking about validation. So another input apart from email is for file. You want a user to submit a file or to pick a file. So something like this, choose a file. So it will go through the users, whatever it is, and the user can choose any file and submit it. You can click submit to submit if they want to submit. You get what I'm saying? So we can think of different types of whatever it is. We have as many as possible. We have input type of what again do we have? Type of image, and you see it here, input type image. You see the image here showing that there is no image. Then we have another input type of what is it called, of month. Input type of month. So see it here, you can choose. This is how it looks like, February 2024. You see it's different from this one, from this it's chosen, and from this month. You see it. So this gives you the month. You have different, as many as possible. We have the week. We have another one called week. Input type of week, like this. So this one, choose, you say this week, it gives you week 17. We are in week 17 inside August, inside 2024. So this gives you the number of week. You see the weeks that you have. Let's pick the 8th week, 2023. So any of these days all about under those weeks. So when we are picking a week, we are picking all the days there. So that's we have different types of HTML form, and just like I was taking the other time about different type of input tags. So one of the things you can just do anytime you need this, so just like I always tell some people regarding this, is that you don't need to memorize HTML this thing. When I see in a notification that this call will end in 15 minutes, so even if it ends, I think we'll probably have to maybe do another call again, because so that we can finish what we want to finish. So one way, I was saying something, you don't need to memorize this stuff. Nobody memorizes all this. So you just check it. That's why you have the internet. You just check it, whatever it is you want to check whenever you need it. So one way to check it is one way that you can check the documentation is by using MDN Docs. So that is developer.mozilla.org. When you check this, So once you come here, when you come to the MDN documentation website, you come here, this search bar, and you press what you want to search. Let's say for our situation is HTML. So when you go to HTML, you see the definition of HTML, whatever tags. If you click by this side here, this side I'm showing you here, if you come here, you have different elements here, so you can just quickly come and check which one do you want to use, what's the definition. You want to talk about form, then you click for, you see it, you click it, it will tell you this is what it is used for, these are the attributes under it, different attributes, the accept trusted, the auto capitalize, the auto complete, the name, the rel, then action, end type, and method, the one we talked about the other time. So this is a very useful website. In fact, you can check many other things apart from this one. You can check other attributes too, attributes of whatever it is, and you can see we have a separate drop down here for input, and these are the different types of input we've talked about. So another input that is important, especially when registering user, is the input for password. So this input password, so this is for password. Where is it? Is that right? Yeah. So let me refresh. Alright, so this is it here. Why is this guy rejoining? What happened was, why are you just joining? So this for password, if you type anything, you see it will hide it, and that is input for password. So anybody has any question regarding different types of inputs that we want about the inputs? Anybody? In the absence of any question, so we move on. So the next thing is the label tag. But then before we move to the label tag, I will go back to inputs, and then hello, assalamu alaikum, are you with me? Who is that? Okay, who is that? Well, so one thing is that, for example, let's say you have this type of website here, and you want people to you want people to, what's it called, to input something here. You get what I'm saying? Now, how will a user understand that this place is for first name, this place is for whatever it is you want, this place is for, so that is where the label comes in place. But then another thing we can use for instead of the label is a placeholder. So let's say your father name, your father name. You see your father, your father name. So when we refresh it, you see it here. So the user will see his own father name. So that's where you know to put here. He's putting his own father name. So for me now, if I want to put my own father name, so I'll just put, you understand, KKK, for example. So we come to another, like there are types that take placeholder. So here, user will understand if you put placeholder, email. So user will understand that you're asking him for email here. They understand. So that is example of a placeholder. That's what placeholder is used for. Mafhum?
Now,
Now, so we move to the label tag. Now, while the input tag captures the user input, just like I mentioned, the label tag is used for description. This enhances the user experience. So the user will know that, okay, you are asking for this thing here, so that where you are asking for father name, they will not go and put mother father name, or father's mother name, or the younger brother of the sister of the father. They'll go and put something there like that. You get what I'm saying? So let's see how it works. Let's see how this thing works. So, are you with me?
yes, yeah.
All right. So let me. The screen is too big for me here. Can I reduce it? Hope you are seeing like that.
It is small.
No.
It is small. What down?
Eh.
No.
What about what about something like this? Is it okay like
Yes.
this?
It is
Yes.
okay.
Okay. What down? Like this, Inko.
A little bit again.
All right. A little bit again. I know, Sano.
Yes.
So let's check. Let's try to check something. So let's have our form again. So this time around, let's say we want to have a form for user to register. So what do we need? Input tag of what? The first thing we'll need is what?
Text.
Text
Choose the
abi.
name.
So for that, and that would be what?
Their
For
name.
name abi. So let's ask
Yeah.
another thing for probably last name again. Then after that, we ask input text for what? For email, right?
No.
Then the last thing for what?
Age.
For password. Okay. Do we need age? Let's ask for their age.
Let's say phone number.
Number. Which number is this one?
Number.
You know, there is a difference between number here and there is a difference between this one. This is two different things. This is just a number, while this is telephone. This is phone number. So different. Yeah, for one bell. Now, if you check our browser, if you refresh it, this is how everything looks like. It's just some. So let's have our button for submit. So this button, let's say submit, and the type of the button will be submit.
Today begin la what the wolo begin. Tún pa lọ.
Àwọn ta nìyẹn?
Sorry.
People, when you start making noise in class, I'll start. Every noise maker will be paying for 500 now. before you know it, I go don't make money. So let's start breaking this thing to them so that we can. Okay, this live reload is telling me they need whatever it is. So all the best one. Let me just
Sir.
take it back. Sir?
Sir,
Hmm?
I mean, why are we having two breaking tags?
What we having?
Why are we having two breaking tags?
Just to make it breaking, you know.
Breaking.
You know, when if it's just
Make it in different times.
like so that the line won't just be one breaking line. It will break twice. It will have a space between them like this.
Okay, sir.
For
We
example,
can make it three also.
yes, I can make it 10.
Four.
See,
Or four.
if I delete this one, can you see that they are close to one another?
Yes, sir.
But let's
I
say I add more breaking here and another breaking. If I check it, you see the space
Yes, sir.
between them.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let me make this one too bigger a little
I
bit.
cannot see.
I know some people will complain. Let's keep it like this. At least some people can be able to see like this.
Yes, sir. I can
Okay.
see.
So now let's talk about the label. The first type of label we can do, the first part of labeling that we can do is have placeholder, just like we described the other time. So we'll just name this one placeholder of first name, right? So you'll be seeing it here. But you see, when you have this thing here, some people can still complain, just like how some people are complaining here that they cannot see it. Do you get what I'm saying? So the best thing is to have a label. So this is how we write label. So let's name it first name. Let me write it in caps. So you have your label here. First name. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, but then there is something that is useful when you want to write a label. So the for here, so it means you are writing the label for which input tag. So we want to say you want to write it for first name. So for first what name, let's write it together like this. But how will the browser now understand which one is first name here? So you give it another attribute called ID. So the identity. So first name. So this is showing that, so this input now has, the function of identity is just like your identity card. It differentiates you from the other person. Do you get what I'm saying? So this
Yes, sir.
ID differentiates this input from this input.
Yes, sir.
Before they were
But
just, they were both text and text. They have no difference then. So we can have this ID, this whole ID2 to be, what would be last name, Abi?
Last name.
Yeah, something
sir,
like that. Now,
sir, Amir, please, before you move on,
yes,
can
sir.
I just ask? Can I just ask a question?
You can ask a
Like,
question.
okay, sir, why are we using this action method get? Why are you using this thing?
Yes,
Can't you just use our form?
yes,
Both the opening tag and the closing tags.
the moment you remember when I was talking about form, he was not in class. ẹnìkan èdè wo lẹnìkan sọ bí báyìí nísìn. Ridwan Umaruba, remember when I was talking about this action and method, Muaz was not in class, so
Yes, sir.
Muaz will be paying a fine of
Ah.
1,500 naira for me asking again. So
I'll be the one. We'll be the one to collect it.
Abi, don't worry. Means I will collect. Who said they will collect it?
You should put it in my OP.
That's nice. That's nice of you. Thank you. So let's go back. This is it. I mentioned that inside this form, we have these attributes. We have these attributes. They are called attributes, and I defined what attribute is, just like I said we defined it in our last class under Ghana. Here, attributes provide additional information about HTML elements, and I make you understand the difference between HTML elements and HTML tags, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, so these attributes, what is the additional information that they are providing? So for this action tells us it is to specify we said form is used to collect user inputs. So this
Yes.
action is to tell us the place we want to send the input to after collecting it.
Okay, sir.
So it can be a URL. If I like, I want to send it to Ibadan. If I want to send it to Ede, you understand? If I want to
Yes,
send
sir.
it to Okokamba, where by in Ibadan, inside the Soka, if I want to send the input there, okay, the inputs no feel reach there. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's
What do you
action.
mean?
That's action. Now we have method. Method is to specify the type of HTTP requests. Now you start to ask me, what is HTTP requests? Though I think I talked about it in the first time we have our class. Though it was not a video, I wrote it down in the group. So probably some people should resend it for those that just recently joined the group. I explained some things regarding it. And don't worry, if you still don't understand it, I say we'll still talk more about it, especially when we read the back end. So we have method. These are types of HTTP requests, and we have different types. We have the post, we have the get, we have the put, we have the patch, we have the delete. We have different types.
Well done.
Which one is well done? So that's the function of the action and the. But for this our form, we are not needing the action and method because we are not sending it anywhere yet. Except if somebody wants me to send this thing to them. Now, so are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, so this we have now have this label. So this for if just like I mentioned semantics the other time. What do you say?
What's the end?
Okay, this call is about to end. Sorry, I will send another this thing to the group right now so that we can join. Alright, Bismillah. لا يصح الصور إلا الله. بسم الله ما كان من نعمة فمن الله. Alright, so just as I was saying, this now shows that this label is for these texts. Mafhum? Alright. Are you with me? Are you people with me, Sha?
No, yes, yeah.
Alright. So let's now go again. Let's add another label. This label is for last name. táìpù tó fẹ́ ṣé táìpù yẹn ti ń jọ bí tó fẹ́ wí ní báyìí. Alright, let's check the browser to see. So we can see the last name here. Are you together with me? So let's just add the one for the rest for every other thing. In here, you can say label, and this label will be for email, and we'll call it email re. Okay, so don't forget the ID too. So the ID here, since we name it email, the ID will be somebody. Can you people hear me? Will be email.
Muted us, yes.
Is password. Then the ID will be password. Some people are just saying this call has ended. When I said join, how do I pay àwọn èèyàn tó wà ní Ìbàdàn lélẹ̀ yẹn? These are the people in Ìbàdàn, because this is Ìbàdàn people self. Okay, let's now go. What can we name this? Label, let's say, for what? For age. Let's say age. Let's say so more age. All right, so let's give this one to ID of age. Are you guys with me? So label will stand for label for ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀. Let's just name it phone, and let's say ẹ̀rọ. Oh, don't let me waste time. Let me just write this. Àbí kí n kọ ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ ní phone number. So ID will be phone. All right. So I think this should be beautiful enough. So this is it. This is what we have. So we now have the labels, and at least user can understand now that this is first name, last name, whatever it is. So the user can decide to put whatever it is they want to put. Let me autofill my own. So can you now see what we have?
Now we can.
So this is Victor Brian. The email is ruhawi@mailsomething.com, and this is the password. The age is 72. Hold on. Then the number is something like this. So let me refill with another person. This person is 47, just my age. So Ali Chavez, something like this. Then the password. So this person has something like this, and this is the work of our what's it called, label. Do you now understand the label?
Now.
So let's be fast. Let's move to other information. So after label, what we need is the submit button, and then of course I've added this button here. So we have different types of button. Is another type of things, another type of this thing that we use in the form. So we have submit button. We have another button that can be to reset. Let's say to reset, and the type will be what? Type will be reset. You get what I'm saying? Let's add some BR tags here. So let's keep it like this. Can you people see my screen very well?
Now,
All right.
Yes.
It's refreshing. Okay, so we have submit button here, and then we have a reset button here. Submit is used to submit, while reset is used to reset. I think those are self-explanatory. So if I feel a tag here and I feel that everything I feel is wrong, instead of going one by one to clear everything, I can just reset everything. Why for submit is used to submit. You can see it's reloading. It wants to send it to whatever it is that we put. But since we did not put any action, it's not sending anything anywhere. But you can note something. Why is it that when I press submit, even without the user putting anything, it's submitted? But that's not how the form that you used to fill used to be now. If you want to submit without inputting something, they will tell you that this field is required, isn't it?
Yes.
And if I have something like this, my password is something, and Moawa CBH, and I now put 1200, and I submit. You see that it's submitted. So people can even put nonsense there, and it will submit.
Yes.
So that would lead us to the next thing that I want to discuss, which is validation. So validation is used to validate, just like the name implies. It is used to validate. Mafhum?
Yeah.
Aha. Any question first before I move to validation? Any question so far? Wait, Naiba is not on the call again.
Which of the neighbor?
Abdullah.
Did she join before?
Ah, she was here before now. She was here in the last class.
I not see her.
Ah.
I will check on her. Sha.
So any question? Hey, any question before I move?
So can I see the code again?
The code. This is
The
the
code,
code.
yes.
This is the code.
Oh.
If you want to see it very well.
Uh-uh.
So, all right. So now let's move to validation. Now, writing simple validation. So for now, we'll use attributes for validation. But as we move forward, probably when we come to JavaScript, we might include some other validations that we want. But the validations that we'll use right now is just using attributes. And don't tell me you don't know what attributes are. So, we want to ensure, basically why we want to write the validations is we want to ensure the data that we are collecting from these users is accurate, is what we want. Do you understand? Because of course you understand some users, they can be as I don't need to say it now, you understand what I'm saying. Wait, can I move forward?
Yes, sir.
Why am I hearing SMS from?
It's from my phone, sir.
Okay, so all right. So now let's add the simple validations that we want to add.
Okay.
So just like we said the other time, if a user the first validation we want to add is that the person must input first name and email and password. Toba will come off your AGC, but we want phone number too. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So that will now be what? Oh, let's have everything that the user must put everything on. So that is to make them required, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's what we call validation. Now, the first validation I want to do is, if you see, let me submit again. If I submit, you just look at the link here, this thing here, this icon here. You see it reloads, which means it's actually submitted. Though I did not put the action, so it's submitted to nowhere. So, and I submitted without inputting anything. Do you get what I'm saying? So we want to
Yes.
make the first thing required. So we now have attributes called required That's attribute. So we'll now put required. We'll just put it like this. You like build it to true, but it's actually like this. Just this one required. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Wait, what can you see now? Are you seeing required equals to something, or you're just seeing required?
You can say required only.
Okay, so that's what you put required, and then when you want to submit, you see it tells the user that, but boy, you cannot pass. You must what?
Wow.
You must fill.
Say
You must fill out
something.
this field. So if I fill out this field, I say Abdul Basit, and instead of filling out the Alabi here, I leave it empty. Instead of filling out the email here, I leave it empty. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if I submit, it will still go. That's because I've not put required in last name and whatever it is. So let me go and fill them with required too. So that's required.
You can't see the screen, sir.
You can't see the screen.
We can now.
Okay. My battery is low. Let me charge it. Okay, it's charging now. All right, so we can put required here, and we can also put required here too for email. So for password too, of course, since it's registry, so back the password, yeah, I'm about to login later. So for password too. So for age too, we put required. I have build, I have my age here, I have my age here. So required. Let's put required. For phone number, uncle, because later if your phone is all the best. Right? If you like, not put phone number. So once we reload, if you try to submit, now is the reload done? So let's try to submit now. You can see it said this field is required, right? Let me fill it
Yes.
and remove this one. You see it's telling me that this place is required. If I fill it and remove the email, it tell me that this thing is required too. You get? So that was the same thing for all those places. But one thing about email is that, what if, since email one day I did not put my real email, I just put Kiki there. See what it tells me. Please include an at in the email address. Kiki is missing an at. If I say Kiki at, it's not telling me, oh yeah, now the remaining thing. Do you understand? They say Kiki at is incomplete. So if I say Kiki at Kike, so let's say, okay, Kike at Kike, let's now submit. Okay, it tell me that this place too is needs to be filled. You understand? Then also making for age, you know, see. So, but one thing is that if I have the age like this, it will still submit. So it's, which means this thing is still missing. Like we've not completed our validation. Why would somebody be including 12,000 as or 120 something thousand as age? Kilode, you be aljano. So we'll now move forward. But do you understand the required validation?
Yes, sir. But
Sir?
I mean, for the browser to detect this thing, do we need to connect our system with with a network?
No, it's not because I connect my system to network. Just simple putting required here will be enough. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, so what validation do you think we can add next again? I need somebody to tell me.
The age.
The age, so that the person cannot add more than, isn't it?
Yes.
The person cannot add 0 too. So when we go to the age, that brings us to minimum, because the person can decide to submit 0. Do you know? You know, people
Yes.
are so corny. Somebody can decide to add 0.
They will not want to tell you that you age.
So so let's say we want to have a minimum of 18. So the person that is below 18 cannot submit. Or the person that is 18, yes, below 18 cannot submit. So let's have it like this. Let's say Mabuba comes and Mabuba wants to register, and Mabuba said she's 10 years old. Let's fill all those sorry. Let me automatically fill the details. So Mabuba says she's 10 years old and she decides to press submit. So what is it telling her? Value must be greater than or equals to 18. My Buba will now go and call her mommy that, mommy, oh, I cannot do this one. So if her mommy wants to tell her that, oh, she have 18, see, so that one is between her and her mommy. So let's put maximum for those that want to put 12,000 or something. So what should be our maximum?
70.
70. Ah.
90.
90 kegilode.
Because you are
Okay.
90.
Because I'm 90, what do you say?
Eh,
Let's put 70. Let's put 70. So we are expecting people between 18 and 70. Do you understand? So in Toba ni 120. Since 70 Gani, ó ti jẹ́ kí kíní ẹ̀ kéré sí. So that kó mọ́ gba up to. So but tawa ni 126. Tawa feel it.
The web page is not showing, sir.
Ma?
The web page.
The what?
Okay. Now it is.
Okay. So if I write 86, 86 is, sorry, I need to pick a call. My mom is calling. Salam alaikum. Mama. Hello, salam alaikum. Baba, ma pè yín padà. Now, so let's say we had 86. You know what's our maximum? Maximum should be 70, right?
yes.
So somebody like Abu Mabuba cannot register.
How old is my husband?
So let's now submit. So if Abu Mabuba wants to submit, you go tell her, I beg. Hey, wait, is it 70 I wrote or 7?
You wrote
You wrote 70.
Okay, he said
maximum
minimum value is 18, must be less than the maximum value, which is 70. Mistake is there, it's supposed to be 70. Assalamu alaikum. Ma.
Maybe there's mistake somewhere.
Mo ń bọ̀ ní ẹjọ́ mo wà ní kíláàsì. All right, ma. So we shall understand the minimum and the maximum. Don't mind the whatever it is. So even if you want to put, let's say you want to put, we imputed 90 here, 19 here. Do you understand? And I want to use these buttons here to either go up and down. So if I want to do something like this, you see it's not going below 19 again. It can only go, it's going above this one. Is it, what did I put? I inputted 70 now. Do you know what I mean? So let's have it again. Let's see. Let's say we imputed 9. You see, even before going anywhere further, it's telling you that's this small black thing is actually telling you. So if Abu Mabuba imputed 80, it will tell him that Afa, yeah, too old to register for this program. Do you understand?
I'm not a small boy.
So that's validation actually. In essence, that's validation. So for password too, if you want password that the user should not put less than 5 lengths or whatever it is. So I'll give you that one as assignment to go and do. And then for phone number too. So if a person included like 89 for phone number, what do you think it should do if somebody included like 78 as phone number? Ṣé yóò mú error jáde àbí kò ní mú error jáde?
Mama or daddy.
Kí ni error message yóò wá jẹ́?
The phone number is not complete.
And tí ò bá jẹ́ error message then you pay money.
Or country code.
It's actually pass. That was because we are not validating. If you check our code very well, we are not validating anything in phone number. We are not doing any validation here. So let's try with required first. Let's start with required. Can you see what I write?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me refill it again. Then this time let's go with 78 as phone number. Let's try to submit. But it's only for required. So now the assignment is that I want you to implement for phone number, the validation for phone number, and also for password. I want you to implement validation. Ma?
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question, Ma?
when you want to maybe register for, you want to sign up.
Yes,
So,
ma.
and the password it is giving you, maybe it is telling you that the password is not strong. That you should input a strong password. Maybe you should the list number that should be there is 7. So add text.
Yes.
So how do we do that too?
So that one is validation that I mentioned the other time. That when we come to JavaScript, we will include that validation. Inshallah.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
Excuse me, sir, I have a question as regarding password as well.
Yes, ma.
Now, if a user inputs a password and it is not the correct password, how does the browser tell the user that the password is not correct?
Like somebody wants to register or log in.
Okay, something like login.
Yeah, login. So that one too, we have a way to check it using JavaScript. So we'll just check if the password the person is used before to register is it equal to the password that the person imputed. So we can still do it at the client side too. You can still use the front end to do that. But most time you use back end sha because front end using that one is very bad practice. Inshallah, we'll check that bismillah.
Yes.
So I want you to input the phone. The assignment is the apart from those of you that did not submit the last assignment, I'll still be expecting you to submit it. Then you have after submitting the old assignment, you have a punishment. So after the punishment, then you do this assignment too. So don't worry, my punishment is more assignments. So that's just it. But the one assignment will be simpler than the one before, ironically. So implement the validation for password that it should not be more than 6 characters. It should not be less than 6 characters and it should not be more than 12 characters. Then implement the one for phone number too, that the phone number must be in a particular format. Do you understand? So that the person will not just input a number as what's it called? What do you call it? And you can even impute yes, do this one too. For password, the person must impute a uppercase letter, a number, a lowercase letter, and a special character.
that was my question, sir.
You did not teach us that one. No.
Yes, it's assignment. Don't worry, you can do it from the front end. That's
Now,
assignment.
let's give us one and we can look for the rest.
Sir,
I've given you many now.
sir,
Yes, ma.
are you going to use the required elements to fill all this thing?
Just use
Eh?
anything. Just use anything you want to use to achieve the assignment.
I can use anything.
Try use anything to achieve the assignment.
No, no, wahala.
So any question? Any question?
So you were talking about
But,
password and the minimum.
Yes, that's assignment. Do it.
sir,
Yes, ma.
sir, for the
Yes.
first name, for the first name, like the first name is showing on the ground, like this thing,
Yes.
like
That's I do. Were you not in class again the other time? That's
yes,
Please.
placeholder. You can decide to use
place holder.
placeholder too. Yes.
Yeah, okay, sir. But for this name, for the last name,
Yes. I did
not
not put
there.
it. I was just
Why?
showing it. If you like, you can put it. If you like, you cannot put it. Maybe it's your website. It's your you and your user.
No, wahala.
So, have you people gotten the first assignment? That's first assignment too. Have you people gotten it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Let's move. So, we've used required minimum. Oh, this is an expo actually. But if you know where to use it, maximum length and pattern. I was not supposed to put it here, Sha. I was not supposed to put. Let me just pass.
Maximum length for what, sir?
Don't worry. It's an
From
expo.
is it for the length of the box or what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Uh, then why do you
This
put
is
it there?
class,
Don't
though.
worry now.
Why do you put it there? Talk now. I
I
mean,
shall give you as assignment. Please let me be fast to finish this one. So there's another this thing called the text area. There's another tag called the text area. It's just like a text, but unlike, please mute your mic. Okay. So,
Who know when you church and it?
uh, time and king in the
Eh,
All right. So, unlike input tag, for example, if you look at this input, look at how short it is. Do you understand?
yes, sir.
Now, the example, somebody like Moaz, and you gave Moaz the form, and you said Moaz should feel the story of his life, like a story of his life in secondary school. You won't expect him to be feeling something like this. Like, it's too boring, especially if you want to correct something. It's not big enough to take enough text that you can see, and this is not how you see it in website. If you want to input something that is, maybe write a story or something that is that big enough, is it? Salaam alaikum.
Right, sir.
Right
Now,
now we are with
yeah, I hope I think I've shown you the use of reset, right?
the text area.
Reset, I've shown you the use of reset, isn't it?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So now
But
so
you not actually talk well about this reset.
I said
This
reset
reset.
is, for example, I'll fill the information here, and instead of submit, submit, it will reload this page to show that it has submitted,
Yes.
isn't it? But now you
Yes.
notice you've made mistake in almost everything here. Instead of going to clean it one by one and correct it, you can just reset to clean everything at once. See it? And that's a
Okay.
button with type reset.
Okay. Okay.
For that one, the button is a types of submit. مفهوم؟
Before.
Yeah.
طيب. So let's assume we have no we have so in order to achieve the thing I said the other time, you want somebody to put let's say, what's it called, the story of their life. So instead of using inputs of text, you can just use this one called text area. Do you understand?
Yes.
So once you reload the page, you can see it. The place is big. So you can just say, this is the story of my life. So you can say, last year I got married. This year
Share you.
I
Share you.
I gave birth to 5 kids.
Uh-uh. Okay.
The next year I'm planning on increasing them to, you understand, like the story of your life, Sha. So at least this place is bigger enough. And if you want it to be more bigger, you have these attributes called columns and rows. So if I make the column to be, let me say, 50, if you refresh the page, you see that it's longer enough. Do you
Yes, sir.
understand? So the same thing, if I make the row to be 90, you can see, guess what to do? It will be, can you see it? Ah, kí ló dé?
What's it mean?
Ṣí bó ṣe tóbi bí kẹ̀ǹbẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ Ìbàdàn. So that's
Àpọ̀ mi báyìí.
eh?
Emba bada
Okay.
bamuyawo.
So so that's just it, Sha. That's the text area that you can use. So understood?
Yes, sir.
It's used for larger amount of text, and you can decide to size it using all those whatever it is, rows and columns, and you can add more whatever it is using CSS. So that's when we reach CSS, we'll still revisit everything. So there you are. I think we've talked about HTML, everything we want to talk about regarding HTML form, and then everything we wanted to talk about regarding HTML. So this this brings us to the end of our HTML class, and inshallah we jump to CSS. Bidnillah. So any question?
Yeah, don't dish, man.
Yes, we are done with HTML. So I'll just pop you guys with assignments. So I gave you assignment number 1. I've given you assignment number 1. So assignment number 2.
It's work on the form, right?
Yes, work on the form and implement what I asked you to implement.
On the form.
Yes. Do you get what I'm saying?
We should what?
Ah,
I can't use that.
which one is this what? You know what I'm saying now?
Like we should work on the form.
Yes, work on the form.
Okay, sir.
Implement what I asked you to implement. The password, the user should be able tell the user that the password must include letter, lowercase, or like lowercase, uppercase, and a special character and a number too. And the length must be minimum of 6 characters and maximum of 12 characters. Then the what was it called? The phone number too should have a specific what's it called pattern. The phone number, the person cannot just input 80 as phone number. The phone number must have a country code. The person must input country code. You understand? So you cannot just come and put 09064 something. Input country code. We want country code. Mafhum?
Uh,
Now, so the last thing I will talk about before ending this class is the next this thing, instead of submitting all those your files for your assignments, so you can just use code pen and it will help you save your code that you've written. So let's check codepen.io. Let's check it. Codepen.io.
So we'll be sending our code pen link to you.
Yeah, so you just send the what's it called? The link to the exact pen. To
Please
the
come again, sir.
exact pen. So this is code pen. Can you see my screen?
Okay, please come again, sir. It's not
I
comfortable.
said you
You
should
should
use
use what?
codepen.io. So let me log in to my account. Is it this? I hope it's this. All right. Koshokin. Okay, I did not click it safe. Wow, that's bad. So let's check. So when you come to CodePen, you see this is how it looks like. So you can write your HTML here, and you'll be seeing it here. I hope you can. This one that I'm saying here, I'm just using here. I hope you can see what I'm showing, Sha. So, for example, these are the code pens I've worked on for in the previous years. This was something I think I did in 2019. It is still here.
Still they use code pen.
No, like I used it then, and let's say I'm still using it. Maybe how will I use it? I don't use it actually, but maybe sometimes if I want to, for example, something like this clash. So this is how code pen looks like. So let me show you some few of my pen. Let me show you a few of my pens, like this one. So this is HTML and this is CSS. So this was a tribute page. I think it was a task by Free Code
Please, oh,
Camp.
my laptop is that's 7% remaining.
Okay,
December.
we are almost done too. In the next 5 minutes we'll be done. Not up to 5 minutes. So this is something using a tribute page to one of my people I respect in history. So I just did using HTML CSS. So this is Dencha. So this is how it looks like. Don't worry, it will be an assignment too when you are done with CSS. And this is a simple
Please,
user.
you explain this code pen because I did not really get the network is not good.
Okay.
Like,
So this is a
yeah, I don't
simple,
really get
just
how
like
it's
I
supposed to
mentioned
submit it.
I think the other day, you can use CSS to create animation. And if you look at the HTML, it's just two divs that are here. And use it to create something like this. You can see sunrise and sunset. Can you see it very well? I don't think it's showing very well. Let me see. If I can stop sharing. Can you see my screen?
Oh,
No, I don't think so. Okay, let me share the screen and see. Ma- pa- 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 pam, pam. All right, what about now? Can you see the screen now?
yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So this is what I was talking about. Though I think the sharing of the screen is making it look as if it is lagging. It is something that is smooth movement of the sun. So this was just created using HTML and CSS. Another one is something like this. Though this one I added JavaScript a little bit. So if you are feeling hungry, you can just come here and click get meal. Especially for single brothers. You get what I'm saying? If you are single and you are not yet married, you can just come to my website here and click get meal. Once you click get meal, it shows you, it will show a meal here, tell you the name of the meal, tell you the process, the ingredients you need. This is the ingredients you need: onion, celery, leek, potato, and the process. Heat this thing, allow to heat sweet for 5 minutes, whatever it is, this one. And if you can't understand that, you will see a YouTube video. If you don't like this food, you can still click get meal. It shows you a random meal again. It will show you how the ingredients, how to cook it, and a YouTube video. You can click another get meal. It will show you different meal. So you can click on getting, click. So see this one, something beef to that be I don't know, see like spirogyra sha. So you can, so some of the ingredients is mulukiya, onion, beef, salt, garlic, clove, and olive oil. So you can see this one to make it. So the last pen I'll be showing is for a for a clock, for, and it shows the correct time, anytime, any day. So of course, to get the correct time, you use JavaScript, and you can decide to make this and make it, be proud of yourself, sha, using HTML, just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it shows the time, and you can see the analog one and the digital one too. So the analog one is there too. And that brings us to the end of the class. So this week I'm going to send many, many assignments, and I'm going to send the class for next week. I'm going to record the class for next week, Bismillah.
So, I mean,
Amira.
please, for the submission of the assignments, how are you going to submit the assignments?
So just like I mentioned, use CodePen to submit the assignments.
To where? I don't know how to use it though.
Uh,
I've not had it before, sir.
and go to codepen.io. Okay, let me just show you a little bit how to use. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So when you come here, codepen.io, this is what it will show you. Can you see what I'm seeing?
Yes, sir.
So when you come to pen here, just click pen. Just click on pen. There you see the pen by the right side, by the left side here.
Yes, sir.
So when you click on pen, you see three different spaces here. One is called HTML, the other is CSS, the other is JavaScript, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in the HTML place, let's say for example, let me copy our code here and paste here.
Everything.
Yeah, let me just say for example everything. So once I paste the code, can you see the result here?
Yes, sir.
So this is it.
Okay,
If you want to see,
as we paste our code, the thing will display, abi?
yes, you don't need to paste your code. You can be writing it there. Say for example, I can
Okay, I'm
say,
writing it there.
you can say P, I am hungry. So you can see it as I'm typing it is showing the results down here, isn't it?
Okay, sir. Okay.
So if
We
you
don't need to
just
refresh anything.
eh?
I said we don't need to refresh anything.
No, you don't need to refresh anything. It will be showing here. Once you are done, you can see save here.
Yes.
You just press save and save it. Then you copy the link and you send it to me. That's all. I'm not
You
hungry.
copy you copy this code pen dot
Yes,
io.
you see the link there. For example, okay, let me save this. Let me save this. Let me name it. I want to name it. Can you see where I'm naming it? As
Yes, sir.
demo. So let me now save it. Once I save it, you see the link. Can you see the link? Can you see that the link has changed?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
It is code pen. So that's the link that you copy and send to me. Let me
Okay.
delete
We
this one.
copy we copy that Brahman with that code pen.
You copy
Or that
everything
Brahman.
here.
Okay,
Everything here.
everything.
Yes, and send it to
Okay.
me. It's not Abdurrahman you see in your own, no. Except if your name is Abdurrahman.
Yes, I understand.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the class. I want to say thank you very much for
But sir, Amir,
Amira.
do we need internet?
Yes, if it is that code pen, you need internet, of course, definitely.
That one will be eating our data.
Ludi, data ilu.
That one. Kaya go good. I don't know what
Okay, you can
like
write
how.
you can write your code in local browser in your local distance. The one you are done, you just paste it there and send. That's all. You can do that.
Okay, okay, okay. That one is okay. That one is okay.
All
Share
right.
your name is code. Your name is code.
Oh,
So
name.
I want to ask a question.
What's your question?
Can I ask?
Ask your question, sir.
Let's say I'm actually I'm coding. So and I actually want to press something. So mistakenly I pressed